I'm sorry, they get a training montage first. Like, the daughter ends up getting, like, you know, this sword, and she's, like, trying to do Jedi shit, and she's studying up on the demons and stuff and trying to do homework, and the Mexican maid, like, brings over, like, you know, like, snacks and stuff, because, okay. But the daughter, like, she takes her final test. The revenging daughter, like, she's all, she grows up, she's, like, 18 now, and, like, she's ready to, like, kick ass and take names and rub out any kind of pentagram that she can find. So they go to the Covenant, though. So, like, it's just Grandma's house. This is how it looks like. It just looks like Grandma's house. So they come on in, and, you know, everything's normal enough. Until, like, the witches start coming out. Like, it suddenly just turns to night, and, like, you know, witches start popping out, and they're, like, flinging fireballs, and they're, that Mexican maid and the daughter pull out their katanas and stuff and start slicing shit up, and, like, they're making a wreck of this old lady's house. Like, they're not even into the creepy garage in the back yet, because, trust me, that's where it goes to. They fight their way through, they get to the creepy garage, and Grandma, or great-grandma, is there, and she's, like, fucking demented. Like, she's just so drained from all this witch-worshipping stuff, and she's just, like, drugged on the power of evil. And, you know, she explains how the family wanted to be rich, and blah blah blah, and, you know, you're not gonna stop us, so I'm gonna kill you all here. And then, of course, the two goods, or our Madre Saver and her apprentice, you know, they're in this giant pentagram, and they get, like, fucking, like, red lightning up from the ground. But, you know, their will is strong, though. The daughter ends up, like, flinging flinging a cross, and it stabs, like, the great-grandma in the throat, and she starts bleeding black and stuff, and she just has enough energy to come out and slice her head off. And the witch's last words, though, I mean, she's basically saying that I'm gonna die with a secret, but the Mexican nanny comes over, and she, like, blesses the head to make it talk, make it know, like, what the hell's going on, and then they learn about the demon pact that's gonna happen with Toby's son, and they're like, oh shit, but now things are now we're reaching, you know, up that slope. If you get what I'm saying. Probably don't. But it's great on the opposite side, though. Toby is this fucking demon pimp. Like, he's starting to get succubuses left and right to help go collect more blood, and he's got the possessed sister as a booty call. Like, she's all up on his, like, doing the Conan poster woman, like, up on his shin, like, loving the shit out of this evil, and she's got her own, like, horns and blood coming off from the corners of her mouth. It's insane. It really is, but she's digging the fuck out of it. Like, and Toby would have to be, like, I don't know, like, he's probably older than a toddler now, but he's still, like, getting prepared for the sacrifice. Like, maybe he's in a trance or something. That sounds good. Like, he's literally in, like, this pod where he's being prepped to be this evil demonic king. It's fantastic. So, where would that be, though? I guess this is the point of the story where shit, like, their evil starts to permeate through, let's say, a city or something, and shit starts going down. It's like raining fire, and plagues are happening, and people are dying, and the undead are rising, and this is when, like, the Mexican nanny and the daughter come in, and they see that they can't handle this alone. So the Mexican nanny has to call in the rest of the hands of God, and it's just this, like, all-on street battle between, like, these, like, a bunch of Mexican nannies. Like, really, it's a bunch of Catholics, like, a bunch of Catholic women and guys, and they're all old and stuff, and they're blessing shit and swinging swords, and you're looking at these old ladies, and you're like, what the fuck, how are they able to do this? But, you know, you got the Mexican nanny doing the flip and shit, and you're like, whoa, like, don't break a hip, and, they're trying to dive into the center of the city. Let's say that it's like a park or something, or a blood fountain. So they're trying to get there, and they make their fight there, and then they got a giant demonic, like, boss battle ahead there. They slay that, but Mexican nanny's down for the count. She can't go on any further, and the daughter's scared. She can't really trust herself to, you know, can I do this alone? You know, he's done so much to our family. And the Mexican nanny is like, oh, you'll have to believe in yourself. And she's like, what? You have to believe in yourself. I can't understand you. Just go. So she does. The daughter dives into the blood fountain, and she gets into the evil pit of demon, and this is where Toby comes out, and he's just like, oh, this is going to be easy. And the daughter, you know, she's pointing her sword, and she's like, oh, fucker, you're going down. And so, and then fight scene, epic fight scene, clashing demon claws, blood, raining fire, her arm gets burned, and then this is when the possessed sister is trying to make sure that the ritual is still happening, though, especially now that, like, you know, chaos is happening outside. This is pretty much the end of the world, like, exactly what they wanted, but now there's, like, one final piece before the demons win, and it's the fucking daughter in the way. So, she, you know, is fighting for the count, but Toby can't be defeated for some reason, and all of a sudden, possessed sister comes up behind the daughter and stabs her in the back. And it's like, oh, this slow moment where she drops her demon-slaying katana, and she's looking up to the sky, and she's got tears going on, and, you know, that she needs that Deus Ex Machina to do this. You know, she's reached the apotheosis, now she needs that ultimate boon. So what she does is basically her tears start to melt down and, like, burn the possessed sister, and she's like, ah! And, like, this is because, like, the possessed sister turns out to be the key. Well, because the deal was made between this whole family, right? So she's pretty much slayed all of the other relatives. So she needs to slay this last sister for the deal to be incomplete, and then therefore Toby can't be bound to the human, or to the mortal realm. So she swings her sword and cuts off, fuck, I want to say her name is Katie, but whatever. The possessed sister's head, and it flies off, and it dissolves as it goes, you know, from skin to flesh to this bone, and, you know, the whole, like, world starts to quake, but, you know, it's getting close, though. The final countdown's coming close, but Toby reveals that it wasn't actually the possessed sister. It's actually the son, his son, because of the bloodline and shit like that, you know? So, well, let's just say that's an ironic death. So, Toby's weak enough, though. You know, all he's got left is this tiny little, this young little humanoid to keep him alive and going, and he's not really affected because he can still see. He hasn't been brainwashed yet by not being able to see demons. So, the daughter, still with a gaping wound inside of her, like, slashes up Toby and stuff, and he gets weak, and she releases, you know, the demon son-to-be from the prison of bloody goo, and he wakes up, and the whole ceremony just comes to this reaping end, and Toby's like, and the daughter has to get out of there quick. Either that, or, you know, trying to dodge, like, falling boulders and stuff, and Toby turns into this massive demon form, and she ends up crawling out through the fountain and stuff. Holy shit. I actually come up with stuff on the fly here, like, I don't know how this movie would fucking end. Oh, man. But, let's just say that Toby comes out, and it's kind of like he's splurting from the fountain, like, trying to grab at her, and, you know, he's got her by the leg, and he's trying to pull her down, but this is, okay, let's try this. So this is when the cool thing happens, because Toby's gonna stay around unless his son is still alive. So what he does, like, the little boy, he ends up sacrificing himself. He ends up getting, you know, into the position of the leg grab, because, like, Toby is partly in, partly out, and he can't see who he's grabbing, so he basically grabs this little blob and squishes him. He kills him himself, and he fades away into the ether, and this whole city is completely ravaged with the fact that everything is now existent. There is no fucking, like, subtlety to the existence of demons anymore. The whole first movies, the first Paranormal Activity, the third, the second, out of order. You know, that is bullshit. It is all real now. Everyone gets it. Everyone knows this exists. There's no more speculation. There's no more thrill. It's all action. So the sun rises on the city, and the daughter buries the Mexican nanny, and she alone has to continue her line. So she returns to the Mexican nanny's house to await the day that Satan comes, and like that's the movie. Like the reason why I wanted to come up with it, like I came up with this movie idea, is because it sounded outrageous. Like compared to the first 3 movies that are all about subtlety, this is like, I know it's not too original for my Hidalgo idea because of the whole conquest and stuff like that. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that I'm just kind of a real unoriginal fuck, but you know, as subtle as those first movies were, this is completely the opposite. Like we've already gone, like, if we're gonna do this completely horribly overdone. This is what happened to that daughter, to the demon, to the son, to the possessed sister. You know, so if it made you laugh though, then great, because you probably would have gone to see that, because I would. That would have kind of been awesome to really see them milk the hell out of how unserious it could be for a movie that actually worked really well. Paranormal Activity was actually really good the first time around, and then the second time, and then the third, you know, you already see, or you already feel like you know that shit's gonna go down. You know there's a demon in the house. So if you stuck around this long, thanks to listening to my rambling, and I hope I made you laugh.